What's going on, everyone? My name is Andy and welcome to the Game Week 2 preview for FPL. 1 week out the way, only 37 more to go. Hopefully they won't be as intense as Game Week 1 planning was, but we'll see how it goes. If you're new around here in these videos, I take you through my team, kind of thoughts about what I'm looking to do, transfer, captain-wise, things like that, and also any other key talking points that maybe the community is talking about. This week as well, I'm going to try and do a community Q&A as well, because there's loads of questions going into Game Week 2, loads of bandwagons, transfers that people are considering. So I'm going to try and go through those in a separate video. This one will be going out on Tuesday night, and hopefully the Q&A will go out on Wednesday, all being as planned. So we'll see how it goes. I'm just going to jump in straight into this video, and I'll take you through how I did last week in Game Week 1 and also what I'm thinking going into Game Week 2. So this is how I did for Game Week 1. A pretty good start, to be honest. 83 points and a rank of 174k. Much better than was expected. Game Week 1 can be a bit of a lottery. We don't quite know what's going to happen. Yes, you've got all the planning, pre-season stats and things like that. When it comes to actually the players getting out on the pitch, performing in a new season, maybe some are tired, maybe some are feeling fresher than each other. We just don't know how it's going to go. So really happy with that. It was the week of the left backs. Obviously, I had Robertson and Mendy, both got double figure hauls, but loads of other left backs did as well. Shaw, Van Arnold, just to name a couple. So it was really nice there. Foster with a clean sheet as well. Bailly only got 2 points. Really annoying to lose the clean sheet in the last minute when Vardy come on, but Vardy is the top 6 destroyer, always scores against the top 6, so I was kind of expecting it as soon as he got subbed on. And then going into midfield, Salah captain performed and got points as he always does. No bonus points unfortunately, and just the 1 goal, but clean sheet took it to 8 points and 16 altogether, so a nice solid start there. Obviously loads of people had Salah, so that was kind of almost protecting the rank. Sanchez and Jota both got 5. Sanchez a little bit disappointing to get only 5, but I think he performed probably a little bit better than his points show, and with Brighton away next game, could be looking good, but we'll come on to that in a minute. And then Richarlison, 14 points, brilliant. 2 shots, 2 goals, just what you want. A little bit of an injury, but again, we'll come on to that in a minute, but really happy with that. And then the front 3 didn't really perform. A lot of people saying that maybe it's the year of the defenders, the year of the midfielders, and strikers are just dead. Well, again, we'll see how that goes. Aguero blanking, unfortunately, should have squared to De Bruyne, didn't. And then Zaha with the 5 points, unfortunately got a yellow card and no bonus. And then King blanking as well, even though Bournemouth did pretty well. And Wilson especially killed it, so obviously got the wrong Bournemouth striker there. But overall, 83 points, 174k rank, pretty happy with that. Moving on to this week, this is the team that I've gone for. Surprise, surprise, exactly the same team, exactly the same lineup. Peltier with Newcastle at home is not going to get into the team. I don't foresee necessarily a Cardiff clean sheet there. And obviously with 3 premium defenders, or 3 defenders from top 6 sides, Bailly maybe not considered a premium defender, but he is from a top 6 side. I'm definitely going to play all them. So pretty happy with the team for this week. Not looking to make a transfer. Looking at some of the points that people are maybe thinking about, and especially I'm thinking about for my team, is Sanchez stick or twist. Now, pretty much there's no player right now who I think you absolutely have to get in or you absolutely have to get rid of. It's only been 1 game week. Remember, you bought your players for a reason. Hopefully you looked beyond game week 1 with these players and think they can perform going into the game week 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. Obviously, sometimes they don't perform as you wish. Like I said, Sanchez only got 5 points, but it is a start where he's got an attacking return. He was only a Lukaku bad finish away from getting another assist. That would have taken him to 8 pre-bonus. And he had other chances, made runs into the box. So with the Brighton away game coming up next, and I think Brighton maybe conceded the highest amount of shots in game week 1, that could be a goer. Now we know Man United don't necessarily attack like Liverpool or City, but I think we're going to beat Brighton, maybe 1, 2, 3 goals in that game. And if we're going to score that many, Sanchez is going to be a part of it. So I'm not looking to get rid of him just yet. But I am very aware that he's 10.5 million. The likes of Mane and Eriksen are cheaper. Mahrez, De Bruyne, players like that could switch to Hazard as well. So in game week 3, when I got 2 transfers, I will be looking at maybe getting rid of Sanchez. But a lot will depend on how he does at Brighton. We'll have Lukaku back probably. Pogba obviously fresh and ready to go. Had another week under his belt training. So not quite ready to get rid of Sanchez just yet. Richarlison, stick or twist, put the 3 arrows there for the same question. Definitely sticking. I don't think his injury is going to be a problem. From the reports that are kind of coming out about it, it looks okay and probably going to be available this week for Southampton at home, which should be a good fixture for him. Is he going to score 2 goals from 2 shots on target every week? No, probably not. But he does like to score goals. We saw that last year. He gets lots of shots, and I think that's the key. He gets into the positions where he can take these shots, maybe get goals, and that's why I like him. It's not that he's just getting lucky. With the amount of volumes of shots he's getting, he's always going to put them away. He just needs to improve his finishing a bit. But obviously, remember, he is young, he's raw, his talent is there, he's only going to improve. So I'm really happy to have him in for 6.5 million. Everton's fixtures are brilliant, so definitely a stick for me. Aguero, will he start? We don't know. At this point, Aguero is definitely a don't buy, don't sell. It's Huddersfield at home. If you've got him, you have to play him. Do you captain him? I'll come on to captain in a minute. I think there's a chance he starts, but he did have that opportunity in the first game against Arsenal where he should have just squared it to Kevin De Bruyne. That would have been an easy goal. De Bruyne's not missing from there, but instead he went for the shot and it was saved. And we know that Pep's probably not going to be happy with that. Would he look to punish him and play Jesus instead? Maybe. But I think Aguero, he's commented himself, and Pep has commented that he's come back from surgery fit, raring to go. He's looked really good in the Community Shield. I don't want to forget that. Just because he didn't play too great against Arsenal, I don't want to forget that the week before against Chelsea he did really well. So I'm obviously keeping him. Will I captain him? I don't know if I will, because as I knew I would have when I bought him or put him into my side, I'm always going to have that niggly feeling in the back of my head of will he start, will he not? And if he doesn't, I don't want to have him captain. And Salah's going to be heavily captained again against a Crystal Palace side that are pretty good form, ended last season in good form as well. So I don't think that's going to be an easy fixture by any means, but Fulham did have a lot of shots against Palace, a lot of good chances which they didn't take, and I think the likes of Salah, Firmino and Mane will take those chances. So I'm probably going to stick to Salah captain just because I'm worried about the Aguero start. If there's any indication from Pep that maybe Jesus has got a niggle, a knock or something like that, then I would be tempted to switch to Aguero, because I think this early on in the season, whether it's logical or not, I feel like it's okay to do that. If you fall behind, you've got the rest of the season to catch up, whereas if it was later in the season, I probably wouldn't want to take the risk. So Salah captain for me, not Aguero. Will he start? Tough to say. I think there's a good chance that he will. Save a transfer. So obviously if there's someone you really want, you've made a mistake that you really think is that bad that you need to make a transfer, then go for it. It's your team. A lot of people didn't have Mendy. If I saw Mendy play and I look at the fixtures, then I definitely want him. I've seen people switch Davis to Mendy already. And do you know what? I don't think that's the worst transfer. Spurs have Man United in game week 3. Mendy has an incredible run of fixtures. He was playing like a midfielder at times. I don't think there's necessarily a huge need to rush to get him in, but I would be looking at him sooner rather than later. So for me, I'm definitely trying to save a transfer. There's loads of info we haven't quite got yet. The likes of, Ramsey went off early. Is that because he was feeling his injury, or is it just because he needs to come back from his injury and get minutes under his belt? Hazard didn't play. When he comes back in, does Pedro or William miss out? We just don't know. Maybe one will switch from left to right. William played on the left in the first game. Maybe he switches to the right in the second. So there's lots of info we don't have. So I want to get that info from game week 2. Now the players that missed out because of the World Cup, they'll probably start now, see how the teams perform, and then go into game week 3 with 2 transfers. Obviously you don't have to do that, it's your team, but that's kind of how I'm thinking right now. Am I worried about strikers? Lots of people saying it's the death of the striker. I'm not so sure. I think it's too early to say that. Wilson did okay. Aubameyang's got good fixtures in game week 3. Aguero's got really nice fixtures as well now. Kane is probably a matter of time before he scores. Fulham at home. Lukaku's going to be back fit yet. I wouldn't write it off, but I don't think, at least in the near future, maybe not long term, we'll have to wait and see what happens, but in the near future, I don't think I'm going to have 2 premium strikers in my team. I think there's loads of value in midfield, loads of value in premium defenders. So I'm not looking at loading up with kind of the likes of Aguero and Aubameyang or Aguero and Kane. I don't think it's the absolute death of the striker just yet, but we'll wait and see what happens there. And really, don't panic. Just remember that even if you had a bad game week or even a good game week, the reverse could easily happen in game week 2. We've planned these teams for the first kind of 4, 5 or 6 game weeks. Just because you've had a good start doesn't mean it's going to carry on. And vice versa if you've had a bad start. The likes of Eriksen, Firmino, they didn't score that well this week. It doesn't mean they won't next week. So as I'm doing with the saver transfer, I would try and do that if you can. I think it's really worthwhile going into game week 3. If you need to make a transfer, do it. But if you can keep it, I would. Just don't panic. Just remember there's a long way of the season to go. Loads could change in game week 2. Players are going to come in that didn't play. And you might see others kind of get rested or phased out. Will the likes of Mahrez, Sané and players like that play? We just don't know for sure. So what will happen in game week 2? Nobody knows. Hopefully it's green arrows all around. I'll leave the video there. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, much appreciated. Subscribe if you're new around here. Hit the bell so you're notified when the next video is up. Hopefully that'll be a Q&A on Wednesday, and I'll be streaming on Thursday at 9:30 UK time. So come and tune in for that and get all your questions answered, or as many as I can. I'll leave it there. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers all.